The last little while.
Yeah.
Well, the last little while, I've spent some time in the mental health services inpatient unit at the General Hospital. Spent a few weeks there. Was dealing with a lot of stress and my bipolar disorder. So just coming out of that now, and yeah, it's an interesting time of life for sure.
What set it off? Like, were you not taking medication?
No, I've always, not always, sorry, but in the last probably 15 years, I've taken my meds pretty faithfully. So it wasn't an issue of that. It was just that I had a lot of external stressors going on. Too many, it turned out, and just became a bit unbearable. So,
what's your opinion of the psych ward?
Well, I actually don't know where the psych ward is, because the psych ward doesn't actually exist. There's actually not a place called the psych ward. There's a place called mental health services inpatient unit. And I think the more people call people out, and no offense, man.
No.
I'm not. You're just a perfect example right now. But when we're calling out that language, you and I were talking before about crazy.
And insane.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And calling that out to redefine that, right? Let's get to that. What do you mean by that, right? The psych ward. Psych ward is an infamous place, man. What comes to your mind? It's horrible, right?
There's a long history of horrors associated with that phrase,
Yeah. Like, and you're gonna lose it. You're gonna go to the psych ward, right? Off to the psych ward.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, there's a lot of stigma attached to the term psych ward.
Mm-hmm.
But my opinion of the mental health services and the inpatient unit at the General Hospital is that it's a pretty fantastic place to receive support for your mental health issue. The staff there is incredible. They work with such a varied level of wellness, but do it very well in all areas, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think overall it's really a flawed system, or as flawed as I once thought it to be,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But yeah, I think they definitely know what they're doing, and I think they do a really good job.
I don't know if I've ever told you, but when I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, I was in the inpatient services for 3 weeks. And I found it to be an extremely peaceful place. I mean, there's people in there, obviously, that are being treated that obviously aren't well. It almost adds to the character of the place, though, meeting all these people and hearing their stories and stuff.
Yeah, and that's something I've found. I've been going to that hospital to inpatient unit since 1998.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I've had numerous experiences there. I think my total right now is 12 hospitalizations since 98. And then I spent another month at the Moose Jaw Psychiatric Unit for 1 month at a time. So yeah, I've got a lot of experience going there, and it's very interesting the people you meet on that journey, for sure.
So I feel like having schizophrenia, I know a bit about schizophrenia, but bipolar I don't know as much about. Can you talk about what happens to you when you have lots of external stressors?
Well, for me, it can result in like very typical hypomanic behaviors. So this is similar to full-blown mania, but not quite there.
Okay.
So hypomanic symptoms could be things like sleeplessness. It could be things like excessive spending, kind of typical traits of mania, but just on a smaller scale, but still popping up.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So that can happen. The majority of those admissions I talked about just now were all majority of them for full-blown mania.
Okay.
And I've found that with my illness moving on and getting older, the episodes of mania are far less, and the more depressive episodes are more active.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been kind of the pattern. I don't think I answered anything you just said, though.
I don't remember what I asked you, but I enjoyed the answer. So, when you were in inpatient services, do they try to stabilize you with more medication, or is it more the fact that the external stressors are kept at bay?
Well, it's a bit of both. When I went in to the hospital this time, they found that I had too many medications.
Okay.
So they removed 2 of them. Asked me what my thoughts were on my medication. I said, here's what I would like. We could increase this. I can have this and I can have that. So they agreed, actually. They said, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's try that. So stabilization with the meds, because I did have a med change. And then, yeah, the removal of those external stressors, right? That decompression. The de-stimuli, right? Like removing stimuli from my life to bring those stressors down and make things more manageable.
Mental illness and creativity.
Yes.
Can you expand on your ideas about what the link might be?
With bipolar, there's a thing in mania that I've heard referred to before as the magic. And there's a little spark that people talk about, and it's a creative spark. And it exists across mental illness, across the spectrum. But it exists, and it's there to spark creativity. And if you look, like, you do not have to look far to see creative people who have this, right? Who have this mental illness.
Hendrix, right? Maybe? Was he one?
Hendrix was bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Janis Joplin. But it's not hard. You don't got to look for it. Robin Williams, right?
Right.
Like, rest in peace. But yeah, there's so many creative people who have this spark that I think comes with their mental illness.
Should we kick a freestyle?
Kick a freestyle. Let's do that.
Word.
All right.
If you're deprived of your dreams, you will lose your mind. That's been experimentally demonstrated quite nicely on animals, but also on human beings. You have to dream. You have to enter that realm of incoherent imagination and possibility in order to maintain your sanity, which is extraordinarily interesting and very strange. And I would say poetry exists on the border between the dream and fully articulate wakefulness. It's the place where the image of the dream meets the articulated speech of full consciousness.
Oh, there's music.
Who it be? The QC representative. Give it to you with something called imperative. This is what they call the direct of the directive. Direct me, kid, resurrect me. I'm flowing like this. These beats, yo, they protect me as I flow like a river. Call me, hey, bud, cause yo, I'm about to give her. Sick for your liver, something like a detox. Every time I grip a microphone, they say he rocks. They say he not, he have it all. Flowing like this, they call me what they call Mr. Ball. As I don't fall, kid, I stand up straight. Grip this microphone real tight as I communicate. Extricate, extraplicate. What that means right now, I don't know, but I will replicate the last line as I go with that fast rhyme. I flow like this, why it is I got that fast mind. What they call in the dark recesses. This is me right now, press, yes, I impress this. Second guesses, welcomed at the door. Flowing like this from now, after, and before. With more, just to explore as I go off like a 24-hour store. What it means, yo, I got what you want, got what you give, plus I got what you flaunt. Give it to you straight with the kick-ins. I got them raps that be fresh for the pickings. I'm sticking what they call every landing. I'm ThatmanDan, and I'm now understanding the underhanding of these lyrical beatdowns that I'm handing. Strategy plan, time for rebranding, and I'm handing out another anecdote. Flowing like this, so dope, coming from my throat, and I explode, and then I reload, implode, yo, I can carry the load as I flow. With finesse, I've said it before, but I might be the best in the West, or the QC, as I flow like truly. That be the queen gritty for those who be unruly. And I be like I'm schooly. D back in the day, flowing like this, and I'm truly on my way to like the next blessing. Yo, Dan, step up and peep the lesson.
Yo, I peeped the lesson, I'm confessing I'm the dope dude. Spoke truth, this is the type of shit that could hold you. With the mic devices, knowing that my life is priceless right now. It suffices that I chill back and write it with the hyphen of her last name. That's pain. This the gas to the flame. This the volcano. I heard once, no rain, no rainbows. I'm a strange dude. Thanks for giving me Zelda on the GameCube. I'ma rearrange the view which you do hold. Everything on the mic from me is true gold. What you even saw in the seasons of God. I hope that it wasn't treasonous thoughts exploding. Rewrote this inside of the moments. The dopest of the poets. These MCs, they ain't no opponents. They could never match me because my rapping, it makes me happy. All the way in Leningrad with a pen in my hand. I got Eminem type of raps, I ain't MC. You cannot tempt me, I ain't Eminem, but I am an MC. Vengeance from the schizophrenic. When the pen clicks, I'm a mix between Hendrix and Kendrick. You remember when I said that after open mic? I wasn't smoking pipes, addicted with these cigarettes, black lungs, licorice, ridiculous. How you gonna kick with this? Nicholas lives with us like the physicist. I live in these moments. Every time I flow like the oceans, you can rock and roll it because I got too much dopamine. So you know I choke a team, I squash them quickly. Talk as this epiphany comes like millipedes running on the basement floor. I kick it on the pavement or the door, whatever, that's a metaphor. Remember when I metaphor inside my apartment, that's some darkness. At least I wasn't heartless when I carved this. The artist who might be starving except for the fat belly. But what could you really tell me? Too intelligent, I rap for the hell of it. And these MCs to me is irrelevant. So you know that I be fatter than the elephants. Take you and your man next, okay Dan, that's a flex. And it's weird like my beard, but it's quite fierce. I might just have to be the one to fight tears off me, because God speaks on Broad Street at the crossroads. At least that's what God wrote into my being. The sinful demons, they get exercised. Man, I'm the best to rhyme until the death of what I am, expressed in the depths of my chest, on a quest to put her head against my neck or my chest. Either way, believe the rain, that's where I walk till dawn. And don't count me, nah, I would rather be chilling in the background. MC step to me, I rap, they sit they ass down. This is how it has to be. Happiness, you sound like that cat from Minneapolis. Yeah, I'm the catalyst and analyst for change, rearranging strange dreams to make peace. How you gonna not play me on the radio when I just got the shady flow? Welcome to the podcast where we kick Nas raps. We was driving in the car playing Illmatic, and when it comes to MCs, you know skill, I have it. This is magic, I would've said madness, but we trying to pop the stigma, so I rock and it be in your innards. My style straight kills words, whether it's English or even if I go British or Spanish. Understand this, a Spaniel, El Diablo, I rock a flow. Man, you gotta know too, dopeness, because I spoketh into this mic, and you know that I like to strike all night. I'm tight when it's time to do it, influenced by Confucius and wherever the muse sits, inside the music or the poetry. This is a Nas rhyme, but you know that's part of me. Honestly, I gotta be like Socrates. I mock you G's like Aristophanes and stay on top of these, cause we just expressing until we both die. And so we grab the mic device and we flow the highest, trying to redefine what's in Regina's mess, with all these spiders webs and all these rhymers regrets, cause they don't got the quotients that could let them grab the mic and be the dopest. Man, I'd be hopeless, I think I've spoken enough, so I'ma do what I can to just hold my tongue. It's time to pause, one more honest to Nas, one more honest to God. On the mic we strike like the rod of Zeus is. On the mic I be so ruthless like the truth is, man, I don't really gotta prove shit. I wanna thank you for coming to the studio, kicking your freestyle and putting me in the mood to flow. This shit is beautiful, you know it's unusual that I would have to do it, but my mind's influenced by many people and the tempting evil of the ego that bleeds slow. Man, I thought you need to know the basis. What's the basis for the confrontations between races? Man, I can't explain it. Really, I don't write so I could be famous. I write so when I die, I know what my name means.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Okay. So isn't that interesting? Because when I had